Hello everybody and welcome to another Top 5 board gaming video. It's the beginning of the month, in this case May, and you know what that means. It's time to talk about another 5 games that are up and coming that I'm really excited about. As always, these are games that can be reprintings or second printings or re-releases, or they're currently on Kickstarter, recently come off of Kickstarter, recently announced, anything along those lines. Of course, coming into May, we are starting into the season of conventions, and so we've already seen some great announcements for games that are upcoming that are going to be released, and I'm really excited about it. And so I'm just kind of shaking with anxiety and awesomeness because I know I'm probably never going to own any of these or even probably play them. But that said, as always, let me know what you think in the comments below because I love to hear it all. And with that, we're going to dive right in with my number 5. At number 5, I've got Terminus. This is a game where you are doing some city planning and road building and traffic control and all of that kind of stuff. So I've never been a huge fan of games like Ticket to Ride and Age of Steam and that sort of thing where you're just building out these tracks and trails and that sort of thing. But I do love the postmodern setting, and I'm also a really big fan of the video game City Skylines. And so I like the idea of trying to figure out how things can go and where they can go to be the most efficient and all that sort of thing. Even so, Terminus being in that general category of we're laying down tracks and rails and moving stuff around, it's probably not going to be super for me, but I'm still keeping an eye out and we'll see how it goes. All in all, Terminus, my number 5. At number 4, I've got Mindbug, mostly because it really reminds me of Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. So essentially in this game, this is a tactical squad-based game where it's very similar to things like Mage Wars Arena and Marvel Champions and all of that kind of thing, where you're putting down cards and fighting against one another in a skirmish. But the idea of this is the twist is you can take control of your opponent's creatures, and that is the Mindbug that you send after them. I like the idea that they have that kind of unique aspect to what has become a fairly standard style of game, that is the tactical skirmish shooter type of thing, but at the same time it is still a tactical skirmish shooter type of thing. So I'm not really sure if the difference is going to be big enough to make it new and feel like it's breathed new life into the genre, but even so, just because I like the name, it seems fun, and the fact is that it's a cool concept in general, still makes the list, and so Mindbug is number 4. At number 3, we've got Beast, and this is one of those of the growing genre of both board and video games where we see the asymmetry of having one person controlling a big bad guy and everybody else going against them. Now, this is something that I first experienced personally with Fury of Dracula, but it's been in a lot of other games besides that. In this particular case, you've got a group of people who are trying to go into the forest to destroy the beast, as they say. And it's reminiscent by the description of things like Dead by Daylight and, like I said, Fury of Dracula and some of these other board and video games both, where the idea is that if the group is not cooperating and not working well enough together, then it's super easy for the beast to win. But if they can work together and if they can do it, then they have a shot at least. So it seems really cool. I do love the genre. I'm worried that it's starting to kind of wear a little bit thin because we've had a lot of them, but I just like the overall aesthetic and idea of Beast itself because it has that very traditional feel of there's a big evil over there and we need to go out and destroy it. So I like that fact. But regardless, Beast is my number 3. At number 2, I've got Hegemony or Hegemony. I'm not completely certain how to pronounce it, but this is a game that really ticks a lot of boxes for me in terms of things that I enjoy. It is a socioeconomic game that is based off of the ideas of liberalism, socialism, capitalism, and a bunch of other stuff all combined together, where you've got asymmetry in that each player is playing as a particular class of worker and or group, where you've got the worker class, you've got the middle class, you've got the capitalists, you've got the state, and I think those are the main 4. But the idea is that they all have to cooperate in order to make sure that they get what they want. You need to make sure that the workers are willing to work for the capitalists so that they can make the money, and so you have to balance out treating them well enough that they can get what they need, and at the same time making sure that you make more money than they do, and the state has to make sure it can collect taxes and all of that sort of stuff. It just seems like an absolutely amazing game. It's gotten some great preview review information on it, and honestly it's probably one that I really would have backed if I hadn't missed the Kickstarter for it, because not only do I love the asymmetric aspect, but I love the socioeconomic aspect, and the fact that you can also play it solo is really big for me as well. Just seems like a really wonderful game, and I'm looking forward to more people getting it and playing it. Hegemony or Hegemony, again, not really certain, is my number 2. At number 1, I've got Raw. This is a game that was released in, I believe, 1999 or early 2000s from Reiner Knizia, one of the most prolific board game designers on the planet, and it is absolutely amazing and has gotten re-released. We're getting a reprinting of it, and so I'm super excited to potentially be able to own it. So Raw is a game that's all about bidding, pressing your luck, and set collection in ancient Egypt. So not only do we have the ancient Egyptian theme, which I really love in terms of the mythology, as well as seeing the artifacts and all that kind of thing, but you have that very standard or very common mantra of easy to learn, hard to master type of thing. It's a quick game to play, very easy to learn, but it's got plenty of meat on it so that even the more hardcore gamers can still play it and have fun, and it even works well as a filler game. So I'm really excited that it's back on the market, and I'm probably going to end up picking up a copy for myself. Raw is my number 1. Well, everybody, that's going to be it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video on my top 5 games that I'm really looking forward to as of May of 2023. Now, again, of course, there are plenty more games out there that have been announced or are already out, or whatever it happens to be, but these are just another 5 that I'm personally particularly excited about. And again, we are getting into convention season, so we're going to see a lot more coming out of the woodwork, and so I'm super excited. I hope that you guys are as well. As always, leave anything and everything in the comments below. Let me know what you think and any other games that you're looking forward to, because you know I love to hear it all. But and also, that said, if you haven't done so already, please take a look at my various social media pages where you can interact with myself and my channel in a bunch of really fun ways. But that said, and with that, thank you so much again for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.